Sitting down with Stowe Dailey is like taking a coffee break with your girlfriend. A singer-songwriter, best-selling author, and recent cancer survivor, Stowe helps us remember that life is fun, that no apology is needed for being who you are, and that fear doesn't stop us from dying, but it could stop us from living. I'm Tai Chi. At 19, I was a superstar, and I was lost inside. I left it all behind, switched continents, and started all over. Years later, I found myself lost again, this time in the American dream. This is a story about awakening, about living the life you were created for, about going inward and discovering the joyous and purposeful person you and I are both meant to be. This is Waking Up in America.
Hi. Hello. It's good to be here with you today.
Yeah, I'm so glad we finally coordinated our schedules.
Yes.
Which is really great because that means you're out there sharing your message, and I am just so grateful to you.
It's just a great time in life for me to be able to do that thing that I was born to do. One of the things, you know.
Yes, and so here I want to talk about it. So There was a time in your life when you weren't living this out.
Yeah.
And so take us there.
Well, I like many people, you know, I think I allowed fear to keep me away from my dreams. You know, I was afraid. I think Marianne Williamson said it very well. She said, so many of us, we're not afraid so much of failing as we are of succeeding beyond our wildest dreams. And all the stuff that goes with that, a lot of responsibility. And I don't know, I think maybe somewhere inside of me I was just afraid to really take the basket off my head and be myself and let that out.
Is it because you were afraid that you wouldn't somehow be good enough because of the messaging?
Yeah, I grew up with a lot of negative messages from my childhood, and I took those on and they just became a mantra that I wasn't good enough. You know, there's always the comparison thing. I'm not as good a singer as you, or I'm not as good a singer as so-and-so. My songs aren't that powerful, you know. I just had all these really negative messages in my head, and I let them keep me from doing that thing. And it wasn't until I almost lost my life that I woke up, literally, and even with a song called Wake Up, came to this realization that, you know, I can't sleep my life away. I can't not do what I'm supposed to do. And it doesn't matter. I really got a very clear message one day from within, and it said, it's not about your singing. It's not about your voice. It's not about your songs. It's not even about what you do on stage. It's about just showing up. All you have to do is show up, and the magic happens. And I think it's true for all of us in what we do.
No matter what we do.
Yeah.
So because we are so uniquely created, well, it's true, we are in a society that we always compare. Even if we don't compare ourselves to somebody else, we compare ourselves with some sort of expectations. Even when we bring God into it, if we're not really, you know, looking deep inside, we can have this wrong image, vision of what God expects me to do.
Right. For many years of my life, I was afraid to be myself, that I would be judged harshly, because I judged myself harshly.
Yes.
If I did be my silly self or my slightly risque self, or, you know, or my spiritual self, whatever, you know, it's like for way too long I let that keep me from just being bold and being who I was.
Being you.
Being who I am.
And you came to Nashville, and you started, you had a successful publishing contract,
Back
which
in
is
the
huge.
early 90s, I was very fortunate when I came here to meet some of the great writers of Nashville at the time, and I got to write with them. I learned the craft. You know, I had been writing since I was 11, but this was the first time that I really studied songwriting, and I love songwriting. You know, I write songs all the time in my head, and I got to write with Garth Brooks, and he, you know, so many wonderful people. Anyway, and yet, after I did that for a while, I felt like I was trapped in a box. It's like you have to write songs for radio.
Right.
So then I learned this craft of writing, and then I kind of like took my heart out of it. And I realized it wasn't making me happy anymore because I wasn't really expressing myself. I was just, giving them commercial things.
Exactly. So you left all of that success.
Yeah.
And what did you do instead?
I started all over in a whole different place. I put music down, which made my heart very unhappy. I felt a little bit, even though I had cuts and, been paid for it and everything, I still felt like I had failed somehow. And I decided to become a mother. So, and that, I was also born to do that. I love my children. I'm so glad that I took time in my life to have that experience. And but I think all the years that I spent raising them, I homeschooled them and everything, all the years I did that, I wasn't doing my music. And so there was really this hole inside of me, this sadness.
And I heard you in one talk that I saw online where you say that, by not being who you are, the sadness and the hole, right? Mm-hmm. We suppress who we are.
I felt like the sadness that was in me grew into cancer. And it said, if you're not going to live your life, you're going to lose it. And I got that in such a big way. It's, yeah. I learned, I've said this many times, fear doesn't stop you from dying. It stops you from living. And I just had to let go of that and say, you know what? It doesn't matter. Just get out there and do it, You don't know how long you're going to be here.
Yes.
Today is all we have, so.
But you said it so beautifully. When I heard you say this, I was in tears. Some gifts come wrapped in bows, and some gifts come wrapped in not such pretty bows, And, but you seem to have conquered fear with it. And I know there's other women who say the same thing. But I want, if you can just tell me a little bit of, you conquered fear with this terrible wake-up call.
I don't know if I conquer fear. I still experience fear, if not on a daily basis, at least very often. I keep setting things up for myself to do that seem fearful, and then I show up, and I move into them. It's like feel the fear and do it anyway.
Yes.
So it's like I just move through it. It's like I'm sure you've seen it, there's this poster. It has a tiny little circle and it says, my comfort zone. And then it has this big circle and it says, where life happens. Yes. And it's like, I'm aiming for where life happens. Every day I wake up, I want to go there because that's where the good stuff is. And, it's not always pretty. Sometimes it's messy.
Yes, and it's okay.
It's okay,
yes.
Though. It's like, okay, so today I might be crying about something that didn't turn out the way I envisioned.
Yes.
But I'm living, I'm alive.
You're alive.
I'm alive, and tomorrow I can just as easily be dancing, in victory. It can happen for all of us. Be yourself. Everyone else is taken.
I love that.
that
yes.
saying, yeah. I feel like something that's very important for each of us to do is to ask questions. And more importantly, to ask the right questions. So it's like, sometimes I say to someone, what kind of question would you ask if you wanted to, change your life in a positive way? And they go, well, why am I being so stupid not to do such and such? And I'm like, no, that's not the right question. The question has to do with your gift. And so when I came out of this, when I came out of my operation, which I call a rectalectomy, I had to have colostomy surgery and all of that. Yeah. When I came out of this very major operation, my question rose up in me that who should I write with? I wanted to get back and connect with somebody, because I had been writing by myself, and that was fun, but it's more fun to do it with somebody. So I started saying, who should I write with? And almost immediately I ran into Karen. Again, I hadn't seen her like in 20 years.
Wow.
And we had written together back in the 90s. And we wrote, you know, when we got together, she said, well, surely you've written a song for your book, Flying High. And I said, no. And she said, okay, let's do that. So that was song one. The next one was Be Yourself. Everyone else is taken. You know, and we just went on, and I mean, we've written almost 70 songs now.
And those are powerful songs.
They are very powerful
yes.
songs. And they're all because of all the stuff that she has been through and that I have been through. The gift of cancer has given me a lot. It's a big gift.
You travel, you're living the life. Now, I've been reading Flying High, and it's beautifully written. Really love how you write.
Thank you.
Do you have a blog that you write?
No, I don't.
There you go.
I need to get on that, don't I?
You don't have to if you feel it's part of you.
You know what? I love when I'm in the process of writing a book or blogs or something like that, but I don't wake up every day wanting to do that, but not like songwriting, you know, which is...
The songwriting, you write all the time?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's amazing. That's
So,
wonderful.
well, I often set this song up by telling the audience, I say, well, you know, when I finish this song, I thought it was going to be played at my funeral. And I can't tell you how happy I am to be able to play it for you here today, live. Sitting in the backseat of my car, strumming on my old guitar, singing songs with my wooden friend, thinking back a year ago, it was almost the end. I still feel the echoes of the day I got the news. When it dawned, I had everything to lose, the prayers of strangers and love of family. Every day I walk this world, it's all a gift to me. I got a second chance to laugh and love, to sing and dance and more. I know it's a sweet and precious gift, a second chance to live. Some stay a while, some say goodbye. Who knows when? Who knows why? We all have a chance to try, learning how to love. When it's my time, when all my work is done, you'll call my name and I'll be gone, and I'll finally see my Father's face, stand before the love of His amazing grace. And I have a second chance to
So let's not wait one more moment to wake up, to laugh and love and sing and dance, and live. Live exactly who you are meant to be. Thank you so much.